get down.
You were still cramping at the time?
Cramping at the time, active cramp for probably 5 minutes, and it was not comfortable. And I'm like, I'm just thinking to myself, this is going to work, this better work, I'm going to make fun of Brad if this doesn't work. And like 30 seconds later, I'm walking across the kitchen to go back upstairs as I was limping, and all of a sudden it just went away. So
it released.
It released, and there is no explicable reason. Gut transit time is 30 to 60 minutes. So you're going to drink this, and it should take time to go from gut to body to create it. And so that raised a lot of questions for me at 2 in the morning, which is not the best time to be thinking, but I was. And so, and that's what kind of bred to this video. But the reality of it is, so we looked at different ways of why apple cider vinegar may help cramps. And there are studies after studies that existed, like 11 people here, 6 people there, 12 people there. It's hard to study cramping because unless you do some pretty mean things to people, it's hard to induce one.
Sure.
But they do seem to come when we're sleeping or at rest or even during activity. I mean, athletes have cramped during games. You'll see football games, you'll see marathoners, you'll see track runners.
With fatigue and heat, I think.
Yeah, which makes sense because, we can always think about hydration and electrolytes, which are kind of the mainstay. And there's, big companies like Gatorade and Powerade, that's how they make their bread and butter off of it.
Right.
But when we kind of looked at some of this and the amount of evidence that's out there that studies hydration and electrolytes, and there's anecdotal evidence probably at best because there's just not enough wide-bodied research with apple cider vinegar. The interesting thing about the vinegar was, and the first two that I found that were really eye-opening to me, the first one, there was a gentleman that actually was talking about it, and he said that he felt that apple cider vinegar could promote more production of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, which is just something that helps with the muscle action potential and it makes it work.
So nerve.
Yeah, so it is, and I'm like, well, that's fine, but we're drinking this. It takes a long time to get into the system. There's no way you could possibly, by doing 15 milliliters of this and some water and drinking it, you're going to raise your acid.
How much is 15 milliliters of?
A tablespoonful. A tablespoonful, yeah, just kitchen old, what's used to measure anything.
Yeah, put that in with 4 ounces of water.
Drink.
Yeah.
So that would be the dose for anybody at anything with apple cider vinegar. I wouldn't really recommend going beyond that for a variety of reasons, which we can touch on. But I just don't think there's any way we can naturally stimulate creating a neurotransmitter to just build up more and stop the cramp. So I read another article, I actually saw some Swiss research, and they actually said that they think the cramp is actually from just your brain being scrambled. It's a bad message being sent to the muscle doesn't release. So you're in this static state where it's just beating you up, and it hurts. Everybody who's had one knows.
Yeah.
And so when you take this, you get relief within 30 to 60 seconds. So to me, it's what they actually believed in their research, whether it was consumed or rinsed in their mouth, and this is why they think it was a nerve problem, is they think the sourness of the apple cider vinegar sends a signal to the brain, and it literally just stops off the transmission that is creating the cramp.